I listened to a talk by the Prime Minister, His Excellency, and um, he made it very clear that he wanted those who are the sons and daughters of Uganda or Africa to return back home. Can you shed a bit more light on that for us?
Yeah, repatriation is big over there. They want us to come home. They want us to come home and add value. This is what they want. They're giving us the opportunity. If you want to come home, then you're going to be welcomed with open arms. Come and add value. Come and develop. Come and lay roots. And this is what we need to do because obviously we reached the point here we know we need an exit plan. And without an exit plan, we're going to struggle. We don't want to be involved and dragged into wars that are none of our concern. So we need to be exit plan in place. When we're ready to move, we move. When our kids are ready to move, they can move. And we rebuild.
And how important do you believe it is now, more than ever before, for us to be having this conversation about repatriation and about having options? How important is this conversation now in the scheme of things, brother?
The world is, Minister, as you know, half the world is at war. And we are just here sitting ducks waiting to see what happens next. So we're spectators. We're in a situation that we'll have no control of and we'll be thrown under the bus at any given time. So we need to know that we don't want this sort of future for our children. We want a future for our children that we can create, we can be the ones in control of. And we can't do that here.
Period.
And that's it, yeah. We can go to Africa and we can have a seat at the table with our peers where we belong. We're never going to get that here. No matter how high you reach on that pyramid, you will never get that equal seat. And you don't deserve it because it's not your place anyway.
More importantly, right?
It's not your business. Excuse me.
So tell me, if I wanted to buy land, 100 acres to start off with, then would that land be freehold or would that land be leasehold?
If I wanted a lawyer, what we'd do is we'd start a company. So the land initially would be held by a company. So the key would be to start the company and then the company would hold the land.
Incorporated in Uganda or incorporated elsewhere?
Trade in Uganda. It would have to be Uganda, yeah.
Okay.
But that's very easily done. Yeah, we have our lawyer there. Our lawyer would full assistance, handles this all day. We have one of the best lawyers in the country. So we have access to top people all the way across the board. I have very strong links over here with the UK London High Commission. So they have assisted us all the way. So they will assist you in anything you wish to do in the country. They're very forthcoming, very thorough, efficient. Yeah, it's an opportunity others are taking. So for us to sleep on, as we've done in the past, over and over again, and just watch other races come in and collect, the buck has to stop with this generation. So we've done a lot of talking to this point, I think, as a people, and we need because it was important because talk laid the foundation of the thought. But we can all agree now that the time for talking is over. So we need a plan, and the only talk we need to hear is a plan of attack, and that's it.
Right, right. So there's no buying of land from chiefs. It's all government based, is it?
I wouldn't want to. You're buying land officially. You're buying land with a title as a barcode. You're buying land through a lawyer. You're buying land as you would buy land here. Somebody's going to make sure it's checked that all the searches are done on it to make sure there are no charges, etc. So it's not it's exactly the same as it is here. The process evaluation will be done beforehand to make sure you pay the correct land tax. But the process we can get streamlined, done pretty quickly.
Okay. So by way of building a property, what would you say is the average cost of build? Like if I was going to build a small apartment building of maybe 6 2-bed units, what would the cost be? Decent standard, obviously, something I would live in myself. What would be the cost per unit?
Yeah, that would happen, say 6 to 8. Now you're looking at around about all in think it's about 80,000. I've done those costings before on something nearly similar. I think that was 8 2 beds, and the costings came in about 80K, and that was a nice spec. It was affordable housing, but it was upper affordable.
And that's
Because
sterling, yeah?
yeah.
And what other associated costs do we have to consider with that type of build?
Obviously, contingency, I would have a contingency of 10%. Other costs would be access, depending on a lot of the roads are still being developed. But what I would do is, if you had different collectives that were interested, I would arrange, probably with the mayor's office, we'd arrange between 10 to 15 different parcels, and we'd give reasons on why those options are attractive. And then that would also help people for price rate.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So by way of things like water access and water supply and electricity,
Yeah.
are there any challenges with infrastructure such as those major utilities?
Yeah, unfortunately, electricity has been a problem, but it's being addressed at the moment with a major hydro plant because obviously the airport can't be power shortages, but power shortages have been a problem as they are throughout Africa. So you would account for that. You would make sure that you had a generator in position. You would look at solar options. You would prepare for that in your build. And obviously, you would charge more because you're not just selling a unit, you're selling a unit and you're also selling electricity.
So is solar an option to fully build that into your development where you
Yeah,
can
is
enjoy constant electricity?
solar is an option. The country is obviously enjoys SAP readings that really high, which are like solar readings of sun. So it gets 14 hours of sun, that sort of thing a day. So very, very high solar readings. So yeah, I see a lot of solar going on over there. Also, I would also, or it's cheap, so I would have a generator because in the night time you're not going to generate the energy from the sun because it's gone. Batteries also an option. But
So for
yeah,
those who are on the line who deal with renewables, is there a big opportunity for them in Uganda?
100% massive opportunity for them. For power purchase agreements as well, I know personally that there's opportunities for them in the power purchase agreement market alone, which is where they'd sell electricity to, say, a hotel for over a period of 20 years and they'd get an agreed contract of getting a set amount of cents per kilowatt hour. Those opportunities, I often get power purchase agreement options sent to me.
Very good. So if I wanted dual citizenship between here, the UK and Uganda, or the US and Uganda, what's the realm of possibility of me gaining citizenship? What do I have to do?
For that, I'd have to refer to Sam in the embassy to clarify that position because I'm not 100% on that, Minister. So I
Okay.
don't comment, unfortunately.
Did Sam jump on? Is Sam on?
Well, in case he's not in,
Oh,
I may step up.
yes, sorry,
Thank you very much.
Mario.
Abdul,
Yes,
Karim,
ma'am.
and all the members present in this meeting. My name is Miriam Otengo. I work at Uganda High Commission as a counselor and in charge of commercial and economic diplomacy. I've been working closely with Dexter. And Dexter, thank you very much for the good work you always do for a country so dear to your heart.
Thank you, Mario.
Fast forward, permit me to extend the voice of my president, that's President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, as a champion of African integration. He believes in what our founding father, Kwame Nkrumah, said, that you are African because Africa is born in you, not because you are born in Africa.
Word.
And therefore, we believe that all Africans, wherever they are African diaspora, you have a home, and this home is open for you. My president, as a champion of African integration, said, Uganda is the second home of every global citizen, especially African diaspora. So that is just to lay off your fears. Whether you have a place called home in Uganda, yes, Uganda is your home. And somebody was asking for a question. Can we go and settle in Uganda? Yes, you can settle in Uganda. And a question came, can we get dual nationality with Uganda? Yes, but the condition is simple. As an investor, there's a threshold of money that you have to invest in the country. Then you can apply for your dual nationality. Yes, there is an opportunity. And then maybe I just stop at that, then we can speak later. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your intervention. Thank you so much. Fantastic. I told you, spiritual injection. I bet some of you wish you had invited that person that we were trying to tell you to invite. But the focus, Uganda, right? And, you know, we had one of the strongest leaders there with Idi Amin. I remember Idi Amin Dada, wonderful man who introduced the Honorable Louis Farrakhan to Muammar Gaddafi. And Muammar Gaddafi done some very great work in Africa, right, Dexter?
He definitely did. Definitely did. There's some great things in Uganda. He built a big mosque in Uganda.
Right.
He did.
Kampala.
Yeah.
Very good. So tell me, so when are we going to Uganda, Dexter? Because, you know, I think we need to go to Uganda. What about anybody else on the line?
Yeah.
Put a one in the chat if you're liking what you're hearing thus far.
Within the next 2 weeks, Minister, we will go. Boots on the ground, we'll go, and you'll see for yourself, and we'll get it done.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So tell me more about what inspired you to head in that way. What was your calling? What caused you to to find this jewel and to focus your attention on this part of Africa?
I would like to say some big thing here, but to be honest, it's just my friends are there, and
right.
And then just supporting my friends and working with my friends. That was the reason. That was the reason I was lucky enough to learn about it. My friends opening my eyes, and I'd never used to think further than the UK or the West. I used to be like everyone else I know. My friends opened my eyes. That's all it was. Yeah, simple as that.
Very good. Very good. So, Sister Sylvina, apologies for keeping you out of the conversation for so long. Would you like to weigh in on this conversation?
Yeah, just with regards to, and thank you for joining us, Miriam and Dexter, your family. So you know you're always welcome. With regards to the purchase of freehold land, that's a question that's been posted in the chat. So is that possible? Is the land freehold or?
Yes, by the company, the land will be freehold.
Right, via the company. Okay.
Until you get your dual citizenship. Once you get your dual citizenship, then you can obviously own as an individual.
Right.
But you can own as an individual.
Right. Okay. So you've mentioned quite a few opportunities. Yeah. But what do they look like?
I think the best thing to do would be for me to ring fence, find out the available opportunities for land that we've got over there before we go. I'll ring fence 10 to 15 opportunities according to value. And then I'll present those opportunities for further investigation. And then people can decide which ones they want to go to, if any of them.
Very good. So tell me about some of the other business opportunities apart from real estate that are low-hanging fruit. What else could those on the line get involved in?
Well, even if you don't want to buy land, we can lease farmland. Leasing farmland is an option. Leasing farmland is an immediate option, and growing peppers, growing vanilla, maybe not vanilla, but growing crops quickly. I would say peppers are the fastest. That sort of thing. Growing melons, potentially. You can grow anything, but adding value to it is always going to where you're going to make your money when it comes to farming. Once I'm talking about farming, I'm going to add value. If I'm going to buy melon, I'm not going to sell you whole melon. I'm going to sell you slices.
Right.
So to do peppers, I'm not going to do peppers. I'm going to sell you dried pepper flakes. For two reasons: A, they're going to last a lot longer. They're not going to be perishable goods now, and it's going to not go through the same export problems. So I think as long as we're farming and looking to add value to whatever you're farming, you're always going to win.
Very good. So in regard, now continue your point, brother. Sorry for disturbing you.
Especially there, sorry, because obviously the land is so good. So that's another thing that we could help you with. Anybody who wants to do farming and is talking about adding value, labor is very cheap. And also obviously adding value is where the government wants to be. So the whole country is pushing towards adding value. So it's something you're going to get licenses very quickly. It's something that's encouraged. So we need to be looking at that. Coffee, instead of doing coffee beans, let's get some instant coffee, because we're not seeing instant coffee coming out of Africa. We're seeing the processing done in the West.
Right.
So the opportunities are all across the board. Those of you who are into computers and IT, there are so many opportunities over there. I wouldn't be the right person to talk to about those opportunities, but I could put you in the direction of the person who is. Big opportunity.
Maybe we need to have a follow-up call and a follow-up with some of your colleagues to maybe flesh out some of these areas, because I know in regards to mining, there are a lot of mining opportunities also in Uganda, because sometimes we speak on a very base level, right? And most of the time there are great opportunities, like much greater opportunities, if we can invite consortiums and those who are, you know, already in some of these spaces, i.e. mining, i.e., you know, major international trade and commerce. What are some of the areas, brother, that if we could put consortiums together to raise decent amounts of capital, that we could actually bid for certain contracts to supply on a global level?
There's always things that will come and go. So the list would move and that list would change. So something we'd have to look into, but something I'd like to get back to you on. But I know there are opportunities, but come to mind immediately, I can't think of any. But just at that point you've mentioned, I know there are a lot of people out there right now who have different specialities. We want you to bring those specialities with you to Uganda. We bring those specialities you have now, those businesses you have now, we can develop them. We can develop them and you can train others. There's a lot of people over there that need training, so we can prepare them for the opportunities. And anybody who works remotely, there's another thing that we need to look into. You can work remotely and live in paradise. Why are you living here?
Yeah.
In this time we had no time for stressing. In this time we should all be investing. Getting knowledge should never be rejected. Every week did you get that message? Get your ticket today. Don't take a second. Heaven, so need to worry, there's a blessing. Don't leave a second guessing. It's got spiritual injection. It's a spiritual.